The opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
And hello, everybody. Welcome inside a beautiful week. It's another one on Running Point, ysnlive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austin Town. We're officially past the midway point of April. We've hit it. We're done. April 22nd today. And we are just another week closer to postseason. I know it's wild. We keep talking about it. It feels like the season still getting into full swing because all the rain we've had the last week and the week before. But the reality is the softball tournament starts on May 4th, which, if I do my math correct, May 4th is a week from Saturday? No, 2 weeks from – yeah. No, a week from Saturday. We got this week and next week, guys. That's it. This week and next week for softball regular season. Because next week's obviously going to be the 29th, and then the sectional start on May 4th. Start of the sectional tournament. Now, obviously, we've seen this before in softball, and it has screwed up my recollection of last year and years before. If you've heard me talk about, I just got corrected on the weekend about I've been talking about McDonald and how, they beat Western Reserve 3 times and they were district champions. And I remember now that that didn't happen. What happened was they played Western Reserve during tournament time in between games to fit league games in. So these softball and baseball teams will play regular season games in between tournament games. You're allowed to do it. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing, against it. We'll see probably even some baseball and softball teams finish out league play, even if they get eliminated from the tournament. So, yes, the regular season does kind of end in 2 weeks for softball, 3 weeks for 1 week for softball, 2 weeks for baseball. But at the same time, you can continue that regular season into tournament time. We've seen it done before, and I'm betting that we'll see it done again this year, because I'm looking at these leagues and I'm looking at the games that still have to play. And I'm thinking to myself, some of these teams are just not going to be able to get all their league games in the next 2 weeks. So some of them might have to go finish out league play, especially if we continue to get days or, spotty days here or there of weather that cancels games. So that being said, it's going to be a wild ride these next 2 weeks as these teams try to finish out league play, try to get to the top of the conference standings, and get a league championship heading into tournament time. But we had a great weekend. We did. We had a great weekend. It was a little bit cold. Not going to lie. It was cold out there at the fields, but it was dry. And we will take chilly and dry over anything wet any day. So let's hop into the scoreboard on ysnlive.com. and see what we had going on over the weekend. So we'll start with, I believe I said this on Friday. So we'll start with Friday, baseball. The battle between blue and red. East Liverpool beat your local, went to East Liverpool 6-0. The final score there. The second matchup between Ursuline and Heartland Christian went Ursuline's way, and all it was for Ursuline was a no-hitter. We're going to go over this game, hop into Game Changer, and see what went down for this one. Give me a minute while it loads. But this was a great win for the Irish heading into the weekend. Obviously, they knew they had a very tough Padua Franciscan matchup coming up on Saturday, so they wanted to get momentum from this game, and they did that with absolute domination. So we look at this 6-0 game, a no-hitter thrown by Thomas Kosovan. And his line was this: 7 innings pitched, obviously no hits, no runs, just a 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. So he did it with defense behind him too. Ursuline's final score: 6 runs on 8 hits, 1 error. So just 2 plays away, 2 at bats away from a perfect game for Kosovan, with the 1 walk and the 1 error. But he was also a force to plate. You look at his. They were also a force to plate, I should say. You look at the numbers. I mean, CJ Flasco, who is continuing his strong season, the only one lineup with a pair of RBIs. He went 2 for 3. But right in front of him, Mr. Urbach, who's been also having a great year, had multiple hits, 2 for 3. You have to set the table up for your big hitters. And the top of the lineup has been doing really good at that this year for Ursuline. And then 3 hits on the day, a 3 for 3 perfect day from Philibon. So a really big day for Ursuline as they took that 6-0 no-hitter into the weekend with a lot of momentum for the Irish. We continue into the scoreboard here. And Lakeview and Niles played an offensive show, and Lakeview got the win. 12-10, obviously a lot of runs scored in that one. Lakeview kind of needed that win. They needed a reset button a little bit for their team. And they get the big win over the Dragons. West Branch looked impressive against Austintown Fitch, 5-1, the final score there. Columbiana and Crestview rivalry renewed, the first time since 2017. These two teams have played each other, and the pitchers absolutely lived up to the hype. Ethan Fiesel pitched for Crestview. Alex Eusebio pitched for Columbiana. It's exactly how you want it. Both aces going at it. Columbiana came out of a pitcher's duel, 3-0 the final score. It was a great night for both teams. One of the things that I love to see, and we saw some snapshots of it by photographers after the game, the respect that's on the field between these two teams. The rivalry was renewed. Everyone was happy about it. Yes, there's this want to beat your crosstown rival between these two, and obviously they wanted to prove that they were the better program. Both these teams did. But at the end of the day, man, the respect from these two teams, obviously a lot of these players know each other really well off the baseball field, whether it be from travel or just living in the same community. So the respect on the field outside of the lines was really cool to see from Columbiana Crestview. And I hope this rivalry continues. Hope this is a good building block to have matchups of this in almost every sport that we see, because we've seen now basketball and baseball, and hopefully that opens the door for every other sport to come together and say, hey, we're gonna play Columbiana, we're gonna play Crestview. And I'd love to see some of those matchups. I think girls basketball would be really fun between Coach Chrisman and Coach Black over there. I think we would see an awesome volleyball matchup, 2 really good volleyball teams with Coach Martin and Coach Auer. So I think there's a lot of wide open doors for matchups. Obviously, on the football side, Columbiana Crestview, always a fun matchup. So I think the doors are open to renew this rivalry in every sport, and I hope it absolutely does. We continue to old rivalries renewed as the Jefferson Falcons come down to Struthers to play an old NE8 rival and kind of say hello to an old friend, I guess you could say. And Jefferson gets the win there, 4-2, a big road win over Struthers. They weren't unfamiliar with that bus ride, that's for sure. Lowville scores a lot of runs, and they needed it, 12-7 over East Palestine. They get the win. A big score for Connaughton Valley as they go 21-0 over Southern Local. We have Girard and Poland. Poland gets the win 11-0 in that one there. We go to softball on Friday. This is part of the Joanne Kernan Classic at McCoon Park in Canfield. There were a lot of good teams there. Lakeview, Canfield, West Branch, Hoban, Ursuline, Columbiana. We saw some from out of town. Chardon was there. Erie McDowell was there. We had East Lake North, who's a very good team there as well. So a lot of good softball over the weekend. It started off with Canfield and Lakeview on Field 7, the ceremonial first pitch, where they brought all the teams together on Field 7 to see the ceremonial first pitch from Pop Kernan. And it was a good one, and it was a strike. I'll tell you that. I was there. I will say it was an absolute strike. And then Canfield went on to steadily beat Lakeview 9-0. This was a game where it wasn't one big inning or one big crooked inning. Canfield's offense kept us laying the pressure on Lakeview, and Melina Toth pitched really well. If your name was not Max Stowe, you did nothing against Melina Toth. Max Stowe, though, went 2 for 3 with a double and a single, so no hitter for Toth, but dominated the rest of the lineup on the way to the shutout victory, 9-0 there. Hoban and West Branch got together. West Branch built up a big lead, but Hoban was able to try to rally back in the 7th, scoring 3 runs in the bottom of the frame, but West Branch held their own, and they get the win, 8-6. The final score there. West Branch scored 3 in the top of the 7th. Hoban answered with 3 in the bottom to try to come back. Mohawk gets the win over Central Valley on the softball side, 8-0. The final score in that one. We have Girard beating up Brookfield, 18-1. The final score there. United gets the win over East Liverpool, 11-0. So United keeps building their schedule of wins. Howland went on the road and beat Jefferson, 12-0. The final score there. We saw that Newton Falls was able to beat Niles. A lot of scoring in this one, 22-9. The final score. Columbiana fell to Ursuline 8-7. This was kind of Ursuline's breakout. I mean, they've been playing really well this week. They almost beat Hoban 13-10. They fell. They almost beat Lakeview 4-3. They fell. And then they finally break through on Friday, and they take down Columbiana 8-7. They've been hitting really well this week, and things are looking up for that Ursuline program. North Canton Hoover takes down Boardman in a heartbreaker, 4-3. The final score there. LeBray beats Garfield 13-6. We saw Louisville win 7-4 over Glen Oak. A big night on this one for the Leopards because their shortstop, Matty Benson, broke the program's career home run record. He has now hit 32 career home runs as a Leopard. And with that being said, she just adds on to her home run record. She already has the season home run record now, the career home run record, and she also has the career runs record as well at Louisville. So big things for the future Maryland Terrapin from Louisville continue. Wild one in Crestview as the Rebels walk off Camel 8-7. The final score there. Poland falls to a very good, likely Division 4 state champion. They are definitely the favorites. Strasburg Franklin wins 6-0. Poland's pitching actually did really well trying to control this really good Strasburg Franklin lineup. A lot of things went right for them. I think you go into this game knowing you were going into a brick wall a little bit in Strasburg Franklin, so you try to do the small things right if you're Poland. And I thought their pitching staff actually held their own, got out of some sticky situations. made sure this game never turned into a runaway. And I think, overall, when you take what you get from this game, outside of getting a win, the best result you could have asked for was keeping them down a little bit, not getting run ruled, of course, and having some quality at bats that did not end up in runs for the Bulldogs, because they did have some quality at bats as well against Strasburg Franklin. Middle Ridge gets to win over Southern on Friday night, 15-5, final score there. And last but not least, Pymatuning Valley beats Fairport Harding 17-7. Let's move on to Saturday and see what went down on Saturday's slate. We have baseball. East Liverpool falls to Columbiana as they win 2 games in 2 days, 11-5. A little bit less of a pitcher's duel in that one. Ursuline can hold up against a very strong Padua Franciscan team, 16-3, the final score in that one. We keep going, and we see that Springfield able to edge Garrettsville Garfield 8-6. We saw Pymatuning Valley beat Conneaut 4-0. Final score there. Beaver Local able to top Struthers 8-5. Ashley Booth St. John wins over Geneva in a tight one, 10-9. The final score there. West Branch able to out-hit Twinsburg in an 11-10 thriller. Lakeside goes and beats Grand Valley 2-1. The final score there. Salem falls to Girard 7-6. Your final in that one. Girard slowly but surely putting together very under the radar but impressive season for the Indians. 11-1. Conneaut beats Harvey. Springfield and Carrollton did not report a score. Neither did Lisbon and Latonia. In fact, the next score we got was Harvey over Edgewood. Losing to Edgewood 14-13, and then Edgewood being able to fall to Pymatuning Valley in that doubleheader 8-6. So Edgewood splits on the baseball side. On the softball side, Western Reserve beats Jefferson County Christian 24-0. The final score there. Louisville beats Akron St. Vincent St. Mary 23-0. Columbiana beats Lakeview 5-4 on a walk-off in the bottom of the 9th inning. It was a walk-off fielder's choice as a ground, quote-unquote, out. It was just a ground ball up the middle. They went home with the play, but Columbiana able to get under the tag, and the umpire actually ruled that Max Stowe dropped the ball. She got the tag down, but a very heated call, I should say, where obviously Dave Kelm did not like it. Max Stowe did not like it either. One of those ones I can't really comment on because we were behind the play. So if she did drop the ball, it would have been in front of us because obviously her back's to us in the backstop. And she definitely didn't drop the ball backwards. So we never saw the ball drop, but definitely could have dropped the ball in front and we would never have seen it. But a very good softball game between these two teams. But Columbiana comes out on top. West Branch, they do beat McDowell 10-0. The final score there. Pymatuning Valley beats Jefferson 6-3. Howland, the win over Solon 9-3. The final score there. Middle Ridge takes care of Springfield 15-3. The final in that one. Beaver Local able to top Union Local 14-10. Brookfield and Warren Harding did not report a score. Conneaut is able to beat St. John 9-7. Your final on that one. Columbiana comes right after their win over Lakeview on the same field, beats West Branch 5-1. A double barrel threat in the pitching circle between Caitlin Pleska and Mackenzie Gamble as they both pitch quality innings in that one run given up to West Branch game. Lakeview falls to East Lake North in a tough one, 12-1. The final score there. I think Lakeview just kind of ran out of gas after playing 9 innings right before. Canfield beats McDowell 10-0. Melania Toth was one at bat away from a perfect game. Western Reserve played a doubleheader and did not report the second score, I guess. We have a final from Beaver Local as they beat Union Local in the second game of the doubleheader 11-10. Ursuline beats Geneva 9-5. Howland did beat LeBray 11-1. And that will do it for the scoreboard from Saturday. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a break and we'll come back with more on Running Point. As always, brought to you by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Back in a bit.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoney County.
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update.
Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
Craftsmanship to us is 60 years of pride and dedication.
Passed down from generation to generation.
The hardwood floors that your kids take their first steps on.
The solid wood doors you quietly close at night.
The things we create day in and day out are the products that end up turning your house into a home.
At Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, uncompromising quality and craftsmanship built our business.
And it will keep us moving forward for generations to come.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means we want to take care of the community that takes care of us too.
And we have to work together always. And that's how you stay in business for 40 years.
You know, I love being a helper because when I help somebody, it makes me feel good.
It means a lot that I can make a difference in others' lives.
So I will do everything I can and just being there for them every step of the way.
I want them to know within the first 5 minutes that they could depend on me. That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun. It all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
Sheely's is more than a furniture store. We're a hub for all of your appliance needs. We offer the widest selection at everyday low prices, with over $1 million of in-stock inventory from Whirlpool, KitchenAid, LG, GE, and more. Our knowledgeable, no-pressure sales staff can help you find the perfect appliances for your home. We're there for you beyond your purchase to service what we sell and offer free local delivery with 24-month special financing. Sheely's, the best things in life happen at home.
House troubles can attack anytime. When trouble strikes, call Mighty Mike. Your hometown hero is on his way. HVAC causing havoc? Has your furnace gone mad? Mighty Mike Heating and Cooling will save the day. Commercial or residential, 24/7. For quality service you can depend on, call your hometown hero. Call Mighty Mike.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa. And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing. Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
Why choose local? Because you live here, work here, learn here, relax here, and celebrate here. 21 WFMJ is our Valley's only locally owned TV station, and our focus is local. Other TV stations don't have that same focus, as their owners are somewhere else. But 21 WFMJ is rooted in the Valley. Local people making decisions that affect your life, right here where you live.
And welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you, as always, by our good friends that you heard from during that commercial break over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. They go the extra mile for you, so you don't have to. We try to do the same here on this show every single day. We do that with player profiles, with coaches' corners, with special interviews, exclusive. We've had it all here at Running Point. We continue that trend today. We are going down to Camel Memorial in the softball program. Ty Bartell had a chance to talk with their pitcher, their ace, their everything, the building blocks of their future program as she hopes to be. Very mature softball player, very high IQ softball player. We have loved watching her grow. It is Romani Adams from Camel. Hope you enjoy this interview. Ty Bartell was awesome enough to pick it up, and it's definitely a great conversation from Camel. We hope once again that you enjoy it. Here's Romani Adams from Camel Memorial, the pitcher in the circle.
Of player profile. This time we go into the circle over at Camel Memorial Red Devil with their pitcher, Romani Adams, joining me today. Romani, how are we doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm not doing too bad myself. I want to talk about you and your progression inside that circle too. I thought you had a really good freshman year, but you talk about evolving that into a sophomore year, and you're off to a nice start already. Talk to me about some of the work you put in the offseason too, and what were some of your goals coming back into the circle this year?
A lot of my goals focused on trying to progress myself for my freshman year because I had already made a little name for myself, so I wanted to keep going and get even better. In the off season, we had some scrimmages that really helped prepare us and help me mesh with my team as a pitcher. And travel ball, we had travel like the whole summer, so that definitely really helps with getting me prepared.
What's it like playing in a gauntlet conference like the one you're into, where it feels like every softball team is really, really good year in and year out? What's it like for you guys to now be, I guess, one of those names that are being mentioned too, towards the middle and up towards the top of the pack now?
Coming in, I knew we really were a lower seed in our conference. So just being able to work up to like being a team that's more talked about now in my community, it's such a happy feeling, and it makes me feel great because our girls really deserve the recognition that we're getting now.
I love what you guys have all done too, because it's kind of just been a group effort amongst a lot of you girls and trying to just put Camel Memorial, I guess, back on the map and create a kind of renaissance of girls sports over there in Red Devil country. Talk to me about being one of the spearheads of that too, and what's the kind of standard that you're trying to set in your young age over there at Camel Memorial?
Being young, definitely, it makes me very nervous. But to be in the era of our girls' sports and just how we progress so good with each other, it's such an amazing thing. Like, because we really are working hard in our school, and just having everybody talk about us now, how they didn't before, it's a really good feeling.
Let's talk about your softball journey and where did this first chapter start for you? What's the earliest memories you have in the sport of softball?
Oh my gosh, probably when I was 4 or 5. T-ball at the YMCA is where I started. I can remember that vividly.
Real young. So, I mean, you talk about starting at that age too and having those type of memories. What kept you in it all these years and into high school?
My family, honestly, my mom, my parents, we have a good history of softball and just the love for the game. And since a young age, I just really knew this was a sport that I wanted to excel in. So my love for it just kept me going through all these years.
Did you find yourself in the circle early, or did that kind of evolve over the years?
Yes, my mom kind of knew before my community, my city wasn't really going to have another pitcher and other people to step up. So I think since I was 10 in the 4th grade, my mom put me in the pitching and said, you're going to do this. And it just worked ever since.
What are the things you're looking to improve on yourself as a pitcher? Because, I mean, I talk to all these pitchers, and it's a constant of always trying to improve mindset. What are the things you're looking to improve on currently with yourself as a pitcher?
A lot of it is my mindset and my headspace. I think in myself, I need to be more okay with the fact that there's good hitters out there, and there's going to be people that are going to get good hits off me. They're going to get home runs. It's going to cause my team to have errors in the field, and I just need to keep a cool headspace.
What's it like to have a battery partner that you're so comfortable with having Mylena behind the dish for you, helping you out?
It's Great, honestly. Me and Mylena have been doing this since we were little. We're cousins. We're always around each other every day. So we just have such a great bond in the field and off the field. So it helps us on the field.
What is the biggest thing for you that's kind of translated to success for you in the circle? What do you kind of attribute your success to that's kind of helped you along the way?
Just a lot of focusing myself on the game, being able to practice and being able to better myself, not giving up, and just doing it for my team.
You're obviously a phenomenal player, but there's also a person behind all these uniforms. So I also like to talk about that aspect a little bit as well. When you talk about what you've learned about yourself as a person in your high school experience, what are some of those things that have stood out to you? What have you learned about yourself throughout high school?
I learned that I can learn to be patient in other people and with myself. I learned that I can be talkative, like I can make friends very quickly. I've been put in positions where I've played with people who I've never met before, and I've had to make friends quickly. And it's just it makes me feel, it's a feel good thing. It makes me happy to know how I can better myself.
I think you carry yourself extraordinarily well too for being a sophomore too, and considering the first interview I've done with you, I'm very impressed with how you confidently speak with yourself as well. Talk about just developing your confidence too. Has that always been a trait about you? Did that have to develop throughout high school? I know myself too. I mean, I had to deal with my confidence issues throughout high school, and I was able to overcome them later in the years. Was that always something that was built in you? Did you have to develop the confidence, or were you?
I definitely had to develop my confidence. I used to be so bad. I would walk 2 batters in a row. I would look at my mom, just take me out the game right now. I used to get so down on myself. It's still something that I have to work on, but being patient and learning how to be patient in myself is definitely something, in being confident.
I know those middle school years are tough for a lot of softball players because it's kind of that crossroads. Do I want to keep doing this too? And I mean, a bad hitting slump can put you really in the dumps too. What's some advice you have for maybe those middle school, those younger softball players that may be debating if they should stick it out? Obviously you did, and it's worked out for you.
If you're feeling bad within yourself, you have to be patient. Everybody's human. Everybody's a person. Everybody goes through things. You have to realize in your body what's going wrong, and you need to try to fix that thing so you can become better. And if you're feeling like you're at a point where you don't know if you should stick with it anymore, just wait it out, see a little things, try something different to see if it's really something that you want to do.
And you obviously talked about having your mom be a part of this journey too, and that's also something that's I think a lot of players don't get a chance to cherish in the moment too. But it is really something special when you have that. What's that relationship been like along the way too? Having her be one of your support systems, but also one of the coaches in your ear at all times.
Oh my gosh, so me and my mom, sometimes we butt heads a lot as a coach and as my mom. But I'm just so thankful that she's around because my mom really cares. She loves the game. She would do anything to help us get better. So I'm so appreciative to have her because she's definitely helped the community too. Not only me and Mylena, but she's helped everybody. So she's just such a good asset to have with us.
I call her the Red Devil symbol. She's like the bat signal too. Anytime that she needs the Red Devils to get some recognition, she's be sure to get our attention too. I love what your mom has done too for the Camel Memorial Red Devil programs as well. She's brought a lot of attention. She's been a spearhead for that. You talk about having that too and having these coaching experiences with her too, but outside of that, what are things you look for in a head coach and in a coach for softball? What are some things that appeal to you from a softball coach?
I like to not only have like a coach relationship, but like a friendly relationship too. I think if you have a good relationship with your players, it'll speak in the games. I like when a coach has patience with their players, and I like coaches that are understanding and can communicate well.
You talk about battling Mother Nature like we've done all season. You guys have been able to manage getting games in, but it's been a rough ride too. How do you as a pitcher try to stay ready when you don't get that live competition maybe as frequently as you'd like to start out?
So every time we don't have a game, we have practice. So as a pitcher, it is frustrating to not be able to play as often as we want to. But our practices, we focus them on, if we don't play our game, we take from our last game what our mistakes have been, and we put them into practice, and they'll speak in our games.
We got to talk about a little bit of the important questions now. Take it in the dugout. We ask these theme questions to a lot of these softball players. First and foremost, what's the favorite dugout snack?
Seeds, sweet and spicy seeds.
All right, now I'm glad someone finally is giving love to sweet and spicy, because like I've heard dill pickle, I've heard the ranch, the cracked pepper, but like someone's got to give love to sweet and spicy. Those are elite. They definitely are. What's the post game meal if you get a win?
Cane's or McDonald's.
You get the classic box combo from Cane's. That's the only way.
Yes, I've had Cane's the past 3 days.
They finally brought one to that area too. We were familiar with it up here in the Kent area, but they finally started bringing it to the Mahoning Valley, and I know it's been a hot commodity. Any softball superstitions for you?
Oh my gosh. I don't wash my gloves. No, that's no. My undershirt that I wear when I pitch, I don't wash that. It'll wash the luck off.
So, like, if there's a game where it's not going your way, it's a little bit of a setback game. Is there any superstition, anything you have to do to right the universe and get everything back on track?
Oh my gosh, I'll take the ball. Sometimes it's the ball, sometimes it's the mound. I'll try to switch it out, do the best I can to flip anything.
You talk about your versatility too. You guys play on the football field if you need to. Just talk about having that kind of mentality of, we'll play on an aircraft carrier if we need a space. Just give us somewhere to play.
Right. So it's with us. It's honestly our field's not ready. So with that not being ready, we have to take it in us to prepare on our football field. Our athletic director, Stacey, she's really amazing with having everything ready with us. Sometimes it is a little difficult to have to make the transition from dirt to turf. Everybody wants to play on dirt, but we just have to switch. We just want to play, really.
Softball, baseball, both those sports are sports where, I mean, you can learn a lot throughout failures and throughout setbacks as well. What's the value you see in maybe some early season setbacks?
The value I see in them is that it prepares us for the bigger mistakes that we might make. If we make something small, hey, like, brush it off. There might be something bigger that comes, because everybody, I think, has to face something bad to be able to face something good.
When you talk about outside of the sport of softball, when you got some free time, what are some of your hobbies?
I like to take naps. I like to sleep.
It's because it's a running theme in the house. The nap time. Yes, is there a specific spot? Is there like a dedicated chair? Is it the couch, or is it the bed is the napping spot and the sleeping spot? Because some people are weird. Like, napping spots are different than sleeping spots. Like, the bed is only for long sleep.
Always my bed.
Always the bed for sure. Is it now? Do you have to set a limit on your naps too, or if they? Or if they go too long, do you find yourself like, this isn't worth it for the rest of the day?
Yes, I can't sleep for too long. My naps will take maybe 2 hours. I can't sleep till like 9. That'll mess up my school schedule.
Can't do it. Let's talk a little bit too about your support system, and just we talked about the love you have from your parents as well, your mom being there. What are some other supporters that you want to give shout outs to, give spotlights to, give love to?
My whole family, honestly. My dad shows up a lot for me. My boyfriend's mom, she shows up a lot for me. She posts me, my boyfriend. Everybody in the community just comes and they share the love to us, and it's such a good feeling.
Well, we share the love for you guys here as well on Ysn. We're always rooting for a Red Devil Nation doing what you guys are doing out there in Camo Memorial Country. I can't wait to see you guys this year. I know you're on the docket at least once or twice for me this season, so I'll be around to see what you guys have to offer. But we're always rooting for you, Ramani, and always continued success in that circle.
Thank you, and I'll keep it up.
Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to join me. This has been another edition of Player Profile with the sophomore in the circle over at Campbell Memorial, Ramani Adams.
Ramani Adams from Campbell. Hard to believe when you're listening to her talk and listening to how just well-spoken and mature and what a leader she is. And she's just a sophomore. They have her for 2 more years after this year to help continue build that Campbell Memorial softball program. You know, it's funny. You look at you look at Campbell and the sports programs they've had over the last 3 or 4 years, and you start to see building blocks in these programs. You're starting to see reasons to think that they can succeed. And obviously, volleyball headlining that with having the best seasons that they've ever had in their program the last 2 years, and then boys basketball with Coach Canarino and what he's been able to do with that Campbell team the last 3 or 4 years. I think the girls basketball team has some new energy. You could see, just the difference in the way they played this year and how much they cared about, what the program was going to do in the future this year. And you saw, obviously you see their softball team starting to build those building blocks. They're young, they're there, but they're starting to build that championship mentality that you need to have a winning program. And I think Ramani Adams is a big, piece of evidence if you are going to argue that Campbell Memorial is going to be successful sooner rather than later as a softball program. You just put her in the circle and say, here you go. They've given up runs this year, but a lot of them aren't earned. She's working. She's putting in the work, hitting her spots. She's a good pitcher. So when you have that and you have that kind of mindset and that kind of tone set on your program, things around you are just going to start working out really well. And I think her and another player that we'll hear from a little bit later on in the week or in the season on the show, interview already in the can already see it on ysnlive.com, already see it on our YouTube page. But Melina Williams is right there with her, like right there, same mindset, same attitude, right there with her. So with those two as the glue of the program and the building blocks, and we always say at YSN, right, brick by brick, I think that program's going to be in for really bright days not too long from now. So want to thank Ramani Adams for giving us her time. Obviously, Ty Bartell did a good job with that interview. Want to thank him for his help getting these player profiles as well. So here we go. More player profiles will come tomorrow. Remember, it's running Wednesday on Wednesday. So Wednesday we'll have track and field player profiles on that show. Tomorrow we'll play some more softball interviews, and then we'll go out and finish out the week strong on Thursday and Friday as well. But we try to get players and athletes on each and every show that we possibly can. With that being said, we're going to dive back into the scoreboard, and we will go into tonight's scoreboard, see what games are going down tonight on ysnlive.com. We'll go through the whole schedule, and then we'll circle back and tell you what games will be broadcasted on the network and what broadcasters will have you covered. So here's the schedule tonight. On the baseball side of things, Wyndham travels to Ashtabula St. John. Alliance will hit up Louisville. Austintown Fitch travels to Boardman. We have Canfield going to Hubbard tonight. We have Garrettsville Garfield going to Crestview and MVAC Gray Tier action. NE8, good matchup in this. NE8 Girard versus Lakeview. LeBray will travel to Campbell. We'll have Latonia at East Palestine. Liberty going to Champion tonight. McDonald will be traveling to Mineral Ridge. We have Newton Falls at Brookfield. Poland at Struthers. Pymatuning Valley at Lakeside. Lowville hosting Sebring. South Range Baseball traveling to Niles. Southern Local will be going to United tonight in EOAC play. We have Springfield hitting the road to Western Reserve. I think that should actually be a pretty good game. Aquinas going to Warren JFK. AAC play between Warren Harding and Howland. We have Waterloo in VAC action. They'll travel to Jackson Milton. And then last but not least, Wellsville will be on the road to Columbiana tonight. On the softball side of things, Pymatuning Valley hosting Grand Valley. Once again, just like baseball, Wyndham will be going to St. John. Also, just like baseball, Fitch going to Boardman. Garfield travels to Crestview tonight on the softball side of things, and Girard travels to Lakeview. LeBray will be at Campbell Memorial. East Palestine hosting Latonia. Champion has senior night tonight as they honor Bella Meyer and Mia Nadowd on senior night as they host Liberty. McDonald will be going to Middle Ridge. Mogador travels to Warren JFK. We have Newton Falls going to Brookfield. Louisville hosting Maslin Perry. We have Poland going to Struthers tonight. Salem goes to Hubbard. Sebring goes to Lowville. South Range traveling to Niles. Springfield going to Western Reserve. United traveling to Southern Local. Ursuline will be at Cardinal Mooney tonight at the Field of Dreams for the Holy War. Warren Harding will travel to Howland. Waterloo goes to Jackson Milton, and then last but not least, in the EOAC, Wellsville makes a trip to Columbiana. Let's look at the broadcast schedule. I'll put the scoreboard back up on baseball while we go over what games will be live on ysnlive.com. Reminder, all these games can be found at ysnlive.com/live. We have 4 baseball games on the network tonight. Cooper Chavone will be in Lakeview as they host the Indians of Girard. Matt Marr and Jordan Barber will be in Niles as they host South Range. Noah Ricks is going to be taking care of Howland hosting Warren Harding. And then Joe Eusebio will be at Columbiana against Wellsville. We travel down to softball. 3 games on the network tonight. And they are going to be, I will be at Boardman for Austintown Fitch Boardman. Ty Bartell going to be heading up to Campbell as they play on the football field against LeBray. And then Wyndham and Ashtabula St. John will be covered by Sam Torres, our good old buddy in the 404 crew, taking down some softball tonight between St. John and Wyndham. So those 7 games will be on ysnlive.com/live. All the games will have, well, I should say as many of the games as we possibly can. We'll have recaps on the website YSN Live. Make sure to tune into that. Stay tuned to our social media pages as well. Those stories will pop up there. It's going to be a fun night. We'll be back tomorrow to talk all about it, all the results tomorrow on Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet. And once again, should be a really fun night of baseball and softball as we venture in later into the month of April. That'll do it for today's show. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I want to send a thank you to Romani Adams for giving us her time for that player profile. I want to thank Ty Bartell for also taking his time to snatch some of these player profiles and take some of them off our plate. We really thank him for that, and he does a great job with every interview that he does. Love to have him on the show when we can, even if it's a pre-recorded interview. A little blast from the past when Ty Bartell used to be the co-host of Running Point. So love to get his face on the show when we can. So want to thank him for getting that interview as well. And of course, I want to thank all you. We had a good viewership day again. We peaked at 62. So great job, guys. If you missed part of this show, want to see it in its entirety, obviously just go back to our YouTube page. You can watch all the prior live shows, whether it be Power Hour or Running Point, on our YouTube page, as well as every post-game interview we have, player profile, coach's corner, all that fun stuff over on our YouTube page. If you're over there, please hit that subscribe button if you feel so inclined to be subscribed to our channel. We would appreciate it, and it also helps us be stronger in the YouTube algorithm. They really shine a light on those channels that have a lot of subscribers. So if you're over on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, hit some likes on the videos that you like, maybe even leave a comment. Anything that does, anything that helps us show the YouTube that we're a video that people want to see is a good thing. So make sure to head over onto our YouTube page. If you are subscribed, hit that notification bell as well so you never miss any of the video content we put up on our YouTube. It is updated almost every single day, like I said, whether it be player profiles, coaches' corners, post-game interviews, and a whole lot more. Game highlights as well on our YouTube page. Some full games are on there too. So make sure to check that out, and make sure to also check out Running Point tomorrow from 1 to 2 as we talk about the results from tonight's games. Thank you so much again for tuning in tonight. Have a good evening. Go out there and support some baseball, softball teams, and we'll see you tomorrow.